Daily, where today we're going to be looking at 10 youngsters who have been killing it so far this season. We're also not going to mention Kylian Mbappe, as it's too obvious. 10. Dan-Axel Zagadou. Frenchman Dan-Axel Zagadou joined Borussia Dortmund from PSG's youth team in 2017 for nothing, and during his first season with BVB, only featured in the league for 651 minutes, roughly 6 games. But fast forward a year and Zagadou is one of the first names on the team sheet, having impressed early on in the 18-19 campaign. The defender has featured in 20 games this season and kept a clean sheet in half of those matches. The 19-year-old is currently averaging 2.3 tackles and interceptions a match, the same as Virgil van Dijk, and he isn't too dissimilar from the Dutchman, as the pair both don't like to rush into tackles and can pass the ball well. The number 2 attempts on average 80 passes a game at a success rate of 90%, along with completing 4 long balls a game, 1 less than Van Dijk. Zagadou has suffered with an injury this season, missing 8 games, but since his return in February 2019, he's started 5 of 6 games, winning 5 and also scoring twice. The 6'5" defender who's yet to be capped for France has proven yet again Dortmund know what they're doing when it comes to youth, and we'll get onto another one later on. 9. João Félix. Before João Félix joined Benfica in 2015, the forward spent 7 years in the youth academy of Porto before being released for being too small, something Porto will definitely regret. Already being compared to Rui Costa, the 19-year-old has come to light this campaign, making his debut for the first team and scoring in the Lisbon derby. To put it simply, Félix has been on fire. He's contributing to a goal every 84 minutes and has 10 goals in the league, but he is running hot, with XG suggesting he should have 7. At 5'11", the second striker is similar to Dele Alli, who himself could have been on this list at just 22 years old. Félix is taking 2.2 shots a game, 0.7 more than Alli, and averages the same number of key passes as the Englishman. Obviously, the Premier League is a tougher competition, but it's impressive nonetheless. Félix is yet to make his international debut, but has been training with the Portugal first team, and is said to have impressed Juventus, so much so that Juve have sent scouts to watch the teenager. 8. Vinicius Junior. Just before we move on to our next one, make sure you guys at home have subscribed to EuroFootball Daily and click the notification bell so you don't miss a single video. After joining Real Madrid for £46 million, the second most expensive transfer in the history of Brazilian football at that time, behind only Neymar, Vinicius Junior has a lot of pressure on his shoulders, especially after having to wait over a year to join the Real side. But so far, Vinicius has been able to handle the Bernabeu, featuring in 27 games, half as a substitute, and the club clearly have faith in him. He's the 3rd youngest player to feature for Los Blancos in the Champions League, behind Casillas and Raul, and has played well in the competition, getting an assist every 117 minutes. His underlying numbers also suggest there's more to come from the 18-year-old. His XG predicts he should have 2 more goals than he does, and that's not surprising when he's averaging 4.2 shots per 90. There are still things to improve on, like the fact he's attempting 6.7 dribbles per 90 and completing around 60% of them, but we can put that down to age. Vinicius Junior has the potential to be a future Galactico, and potentially, with a few more seasons under his belt, could be the answer to some of their problems. 7. Matthijs De Ligt. We've covered Matthijs De Ligt extensively over the past season, and although we've decided not to cover Mbappe, we couldn't discuss youngsters smashing it this year without covering the defender. The current Golden Boy winner has clubs all over Europe looking to get his signature during the summer, and it's no surprise. De Ligt has only missed 3 games all season for Ajax and is a mainstay in their back line. The 19-year-old is conceding a goal every 123 minutes, whilst also completing 2.6 tackles and interceptions a match. The Dutchman, who is only the 2nd player ever to captain his side in the Champions League as a teenager, has shown this year that he has the potential to be one of the best in the world, winning 70% of his aerial duels and averaging 67 passes a game, with 71% of them going forwards. Having already played over 100 games for his club before the age of 20, the future looks bright for De Ligt, with reports claiming he will join his teammate De Jong by signing for Barcelona in the summer for €60 million. 6. Kai Havertz. Having made his debut at 17 years old and 126 days, becoming Bayer Leverkusen's youngest ever debutant in 2016, it's been known for a while that Kai Havertz will be a star. The 19-year-old has shown this year he's ready for the big stage. In the Europa League, he's contributed to a goal every 70 minutes with 3 goals and 3 assists, and he's also taken this form into the league, scoring 10 and assisting 3 in roughly 25 games. Since Peter Bosch's arrival at the Bay Arena, Havertz has shown his versatility, playing in a midfield 3 and also playing on the wing, while keeping his numbers at an impressive rate. He's currently taking 2.6 shots a match, making 1.7 key passes and beating his man 1.7 times a game. In 2019 alone, the midfielder boasts a pass accuracy of 87.4%, and in the 10 games he's featured in this year, he has 5 goal contributions. It's no surprise Bayern Munich are currently looking to spend 100 million euros on the teenager. 5. Tyler Adams. When RB Leipzig signed Tyler Adams from New York Red Bulls in January 2019 for an alleged £2 million fee, no one expected the 20-year-old to be in the starting lineup so soon. The US international has featured in every game since he made his debut back in January against Fortuna Düsseldorf, starting 8 games and already getting nearly 700 minutes under his belt. He slotted perfectly into the RB Leipzig side, featuring at centre defensive midfield and is currently averaging 5.4 tackles and interceptions per 90 minutes. Already a lot of the play comes through him, averaging 8% possession a match, and in every game he's started, he's had the most possession in the team. In the games he's started for Leipzig, they've won 7, drawn 1, scored 18 and conceded just 1, plus he also has 2 assists. For a youngster to have joined a team midway through the campaign and already have made himself so crucial to the side, it won't be too long before he's at Bayern Munich. 4. Soufiane Alakhouch. Now you may not have heard of Soufiane Alakhouch. The right back was promoted with Nîmes in 2018 to Ligue 1 after finishing second, featuring 30 times in the league whilst just 19 years old. But this season he has been a key reason as to why they're 12th in the league at the time of recording. During his first 5 appearances in 2019, the fullback made a crazy 41 tackles and interceptions. His rate of success in these tackles is also very impressive, currently the 4th best in the league at 88%. Add the fact he's casually making 6.3 tackles and interceptions per 90, and you can see why he's been killing it this year. His defensive numbers are absurd, but his underlying attacking numbers also seem to suggest he can improve going forward. He's currently making 1 key pass and completing 1 dribble a game for a side which have to do a lot of defensive work. With the CIES valuing him at 3.5 million euros and the only real transfer interest so far coming from Middlesbrough, if the team acts quick, they could find themselves one of the bargains of the summer. 3. Nicolo Zaniolo. Roma fans must be thanking the heavens that they got Zaniolo as part of the Nainggolan deal. The 19-year-old was originally bought by Inter Milan for just 1.8 million euros, but never featured for the senior side before moving to Rome. 6 months on from his transfer to the capital, and the attacking midfielder scored his first senior goal in Serie A on Boxing Day, and since the turn of the year, he's really stepped up to the plate. Any young player who can show signs in their debut season to suggest they can play against grown men often give a positive glimpse into their future. The Italian has 5 goals and 2 assists, with 2 of them goals coming in the Champions League. Zaniolo is actually performing under XG by 2, and his numbers show that for such a young attacker, he's only going to improve. He's currently taking 3 shots in Serie A per 90 minutes, beating his man 2.5 times a game as well. For such a young player, Zaniolo's work rate is incredible, completing 2 tackles per 90 and making 5 pressure regains per match, which is how many times a player wins the ball back within 5 seconds of them pressuring an opponent. Dele Alli is one of the best in the world at it, and he makes 6. The number 22 still has his doubters out there, but I'm sure if he continues to smash it, he'll be proving them wrong in no time. 2. Moise Kean. Having recently turned 19 just a few days ago, Moise Kean has had headlines about his career since he made his debut back in 2016 at just 16 years of age, thus becoming the first player born in the 2000s to compete in one of Europe's 4 major leagues, and then 3 days later doing the same thing but in the Champions League. Since the turn of the year, Kean has started 2 games, playing 184 minutes and has scored 4 goals. In Serie A, he has the best minutes to goals ratio with 1 every 40 minutes. He's breaking records all over the place this year, along with becoming the youngest player since Balotelli to reach 8 goals in total in Serie A. And his talents are being recognised. He was called up to the national team in November and scored 2 goals in 2 matches in the European Championships in March. He is running hot, with XG suggesting he should be on 1 at the time of recording, but he's only been given limited minutes so far. So with more time, we should see even more from him. With Ronaldo, Dybala and Mandzukic, maybe it's Kean who can bring the CL to Turin this year. 1. Jadon Sancho. Who else could the number 1 spot go to other than Mbappe? Jadon Sancho has proven to every young player out there that moving to a different league for game time can do wonders for your career. In the 23 games Sancho featured in for BVB during 2018, he contributed to 15 goals, and he's carried this form into 2019, playing 12 and contributing to 9. Sancho only takes 1.4 shots a game, which can be a reason as to why he's overperforming on XG, but his creative numbers are ridiculous, making 2.5 key passes a game and beating his man nearly 4 times a match. In fact, he created 12 chances and completed a remarkable 29 dribbles in his last 5 appearances, 6 more than any other player in the Bundesliga. Having just turned 19 and valued at £150 million by the CIES, Sancho's future is one of the brightest in the world, and comes at a time where young English talent is some of the hottest on the block. With the likes of Hudson-Odoi and Foden attracting attention, they may need to follow in the footsteps of the number 7 to feature in this list next year. So those were our 10 youngsters that are smashing it in 2019, but have we missed anyone out? Please let me know in the comments below or tweet me and I will make sure I respond to you. If you've enjoyed this one, check out Stat Wars The League, and as always guys, don't forget to like and subscribe.